Good morning, everybody. How is everybody today, my beautiful angels? It's August 2nd, 2022. Yep, it's already August. Kiddo's almost back to school. I have them hanging out on my porch right now. They came back. They came back. They wanted water. I said, okay, I can handle that. Give me some time. Mama's got to work too. Well, these are like my nieces, my daughter's best friends. My daughter's not here, but the friends are. Go figure. I love the babies. I love them. Guys, I really want to wear my glasses and talk to y'all, but the glare is just not going to be doable. Last week I talked about, and I want to come back on and say, hey, my life is not perfect. Perception is everything. To me, my life is perfect. I couldn't ask for anything more right now than what I've got. The giggles on my front porch, even though they annoy me. The issues that I'm going through right now with my oldest, I wouldn't change it for the world, y'all, because I'm sober and I'm getting to experience these things. I'm getting to experience these things. I'm getting to feel these things, and it's really minimal stuff compared to what could be the issues that could be going on if mom was still doing doing the things that I was doing. A lot of the just going against life, going against the grain, period, living in sin pretty much. Just lying and manipulative. And I didn't mean to be doing it. It's like I was super, super innocent in the process. And we all are, really, as humans, because we don't know really how we're supposed to be. We think we know how we're supposed to be because the churches tell us that we're supposed to be a certain way through what this Bible tells us to be. And mad respect, I love the Bible, and many beautiful true verses in there, and many beautiful spells, and it's art. Bible is art. It's a map. Mad respect for it. Some of it's not true. Some of it is, and that's just like everything. But there are things here in this world, on this earth, that we just don't know about. Well, I'm just now learning about, and I told you, as I learn things, I'm going to come and talk to y'all about these things and bring it into the light. So I kind of jump into my magic, my high magic. I always have since I was introduced to it 2.5 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. I go into everything with the open mind, and I yet never know what I'm really doing. From the beginning, I never knew what I was doing. Everything, all of this whole experience has been based off of faith. That's why really faith is crammed down our throats. For me, this whole experience has been based off faith. And what a wild ride it's been, and it's not always easy. Like I said, perspective is everything. As you're going through this journey, you're unraveling your true self, your higher self, how we're really supposed to be connected to our ultimate source 100%. And through this unraveling and unlayering of the peeling back the onion layers, you grow and you change. And for me, I have changed. My values have changed. My rules have changed. My outlook has changed. My values, my beliefs, all of that's changed. So I'm a totally different person now. So I've had to adapt to that. And I've had to adapt. My family members have had to adapt to that, but also, they're stuck, and some of them are stuck in their old ways. So here I am. I'm not only unraveling my onions, but layers, but I'm also helping my family members. So it's tough on me because I have to be the stern dad, mom, wife, husband, everything. I'm the magician. And, you know, a lot of us, from my family, I was raised, proud to say I was raised with a lot of morals and everything. But for instance, my oldest son, because I couldn't be there for him like I should have been, he was raised pretty much strictly by his dad, and so his morals and stuff are different than what my morals are now. So I used to be like a stepping stone, and you could walk all over me and I didn't care, you know, and then I'd blow up and everybody make me look like the bad guy, you know. But now I'm total opposite, and I don't put up with no shit. I don't let nobody step all over me. I don't let nobody take advantage of me. And so I put it out there right there, and I nip it in the butt, or you get out. You know what I'm saying? I don't play games no more. Before I'd play games and I would be the pity party and poor me. No. You don't like my rules, then you get out of my house. No games played. So I have rules, I have laws, I have values, and they're all based off of my higher power, Hod, God. And if you don't like it, then get to stepping. And I don't care if you're my mama, yo, my daddy, a God, which it would never, but you know, or my son, my daughter. And you know what I'm saying? If you don't like how I am, then just move around, you know, and eventually you'll see for yourself. But that doesn't mean that I have to be a stepping stone or you know what I'm saying? And so I don't put up with none of that no more. And so it's surprising for people, I think, sometimes. But I don't care. And so, you know, I'm telling you, and that's what this, let me say, this work is not always easy, but in the end, let me tell you, it's all worth it because everything works out for its higher purpose and greater. You know, yes, it might be frustrating at that moment, but in the end, it's like, oh, yeah, I get why that happened, because now I don't have to do this for that person. You know what I'm saying? Because my angels show me who appreciates me and who they don't. And that's what I keep trying to instill to my children and everybody. You are being watched. No matter what you think, you are being watched. And you know what they're called? Elementals. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We are always being watched and guided. We are protected by our archangels. Yes, our angels, our guides. Okay, it's just totally different than the elementals. But, you know, and I've seen them. They work in my life, and let me tell you, and I've seen the good and I've seen the bad of them. And I've been bit by one. I've got a picture of that. I have there, and I will say, I'm going to go into it further, but they're mischievous. But again, the energy you put out is what you get in return. And so if you're real fearful, then they're going to play off that. They're they're a little mischievous, not manipulative. Well, yeah, I'm sure they can be. But they don't know it. It's just their job. It's what God created them to do. And so, you know, I'm going to get to reading about that, a little bit about that. But so with me, what I've been doing is I've been invoking I've been invoking the air elementals, which is the sylphs. And you can read up on them. But with the air elementals, has a lot to do with the intellect. But I'm going to go in and let me read on this. And I found a wonderful website, app. And I don't know if it's a website. It's an app for me on my phone. And I will get a computer soon. I will. When I can afford one, I'll get one. And I think it'll help out a lot. I don't know. I'm not real computer savvy, but I know I'm going to need one eventually. I don't even need one right now. My phone is perfect. But so Scribd, SCRIBD. And it is the most, I discovered it, and this past week I've discovered so much. God has revealed him so much to me, because I prayed, and I get frustrated, and I'm like, you know, please, would you just reveal something to me? So, you know, give me some information. I need something, and then he does just at the right time. So I've been invoking. First I started with earth, the earth elements, and I didn't even know. I didn't really look into it too much. And I did that for about a month, and then I go on to air. So the earth is gnomes, gnomies, or whatever, the earth elementals. And so yeah, I'm in air right now, and the sylphs. And so I decided, look, I'm gonna really look into this. I'm really gonna do some research, and I gotta figure this out, And that's how I was just saying, a lot of the times I go into my ritual work not even knowing what I'm doing, just based off faith, because I know it's the right thing to do. Because I know that's what Papa needs me to do, and I want to do, and what I've been put here to do. And so I look into this, and this is serious. This is really serious stuff. These are entities, and they can cause a lot of havoc on our health, mental health. I don't know about physical health. I'm sure they can. Sure they can, but more mental, and I believe. And I believe a lot of these are mischievous, and that's what causes a lot of murders and stuff like that. And maybe that's bad spirits, but maybe that's the elementals. And but again, I don't judge any of it, because I know that it was all put here by God, and I don't believe in Satan. I believe, and I know from experience, that God and Satan are one person. He has a business to run. I've said that in the past, and it is what it is. The world was created the way it was, and so we don't question that. We don't go against what God has made the world, and we don't say, well, we don't like it. I don't dislike what they call them, demons or whatever. They're not demons. They're spirits, elemental spirits. They've given them the name demons, but they're not. They're just elemental spirits that God has put here. And you know what I'm saying? And you have to see the good in everything. I mean, we can't, not everybody can live forever. If we did, can you imagine what the world would be like? So there's a system, and I've said it, there's a system. And so on Scribd, you can find anything, pretty much, any book that you want to read. I've found, it's like $12 a month, so I'm canceling my Audible, which it's cheaper than Audible. There's Audible books, there's readable books, there's documents uploaded, and that's what that was, as the one that I found off the elementals, and it's just Scribd, and it's, you just look at elemental book, and it's uploaded by Joseph Caney. It's a document, elemental book, Joseph Caney, uploaded by Joseph Caney. But I'm going to read you some of the information that I found, and I found it real interesting. And it's, again, it's to me, it's serious stuff, and it's just, it answers so many more questions of what things are, and the things that I've gone through in the past few years, why I've gone through them, what made me go through them. And it's a lot of trauma, and but I understand why, and I can't be mad, and I can't be mad at God, because it was all for a reason. And that's why I'm sitting right here, and I'm talking to y'all, and I'm healthy, and I'm sober, and I'm happy, and my problems are minimal. My kids are healthy and happy. I have food on the table. I have a roof over my head. I have no worries. My husband and my relationship is stellar. Yeah, he gets on my nerves. Yeah, I get on his nerve. But we're going through little things, I mean, it's life. It's earth living. It's earth living, and you have to appreciate it, because it's growing our soul on for the next world, So it is what it is. We're growing our souls here, and we're taking this on to the next world. So we have to be grateful for all of these little trivial and minute things that we go through, flat tires, you know what I'm saying? Can't be mad about it. You can't be mad, because it's everything we go through is growing our souls. So it's a process, and especially if you're doing this work. And that's why I keep saying, this isn't easy, and because I'm going to be completely honest. It does make life easier. And especially your outlook becomes 10 times better on things. And your elementals start working for you. You don't control your elementals. Maybe you get to a point where you can. I don't know yet. But I was thinking, we kind of control each other. As long as I'm doing the right thing, they're helping me and guiding me, and everything's working out. But if I'm stumbling, then they have to pull me back and show me again, and again, and set up a certain circumstance or whatever until I get it right. And it's never bad. It's minimal. Like I said, it's minimal to what it could be, to what my life has been in the past and things that I've been through in the past. And, almost losing my family was, Anyways, enough about that. So this document, let's go on. This says from chapter 1. I don't even know what book. Oh yeah, the book is called sorry, my allergies are bothering me a little bit. Wonder if it's the moon in Virgo. Oh yeah, the elemental book. That's so simple as that. Okay, so it says there are things that are known and things that are unknown. In between are the doors. William Blake. For many centuries, magicians have attempts to control the 4 powers of the elemental realm. In an effort to experience its energy, understand its power, and use this power for their own ends. However, it is also said by many practitioners that elemental magic is considered one of the most difficult but natural magical arts to master. Ancient magicians believe particularly that the 3 books of the occult philosophy, and this is another thing that you can upload on that script. You can get all kinds of books on there, and I did upload that one. Okay. Accepting this, we see that the spirits who govern the elemental regions must obey the archangels. And as you are only a little lower than the angels in evolutionary terms, the elemental spirits must therefore also obey you. This is part of Great Creator's plans that all things vibrate to certain actions and powers. The heavens, stars, elements, animals, plants, metals, and stones all have virtues which the Great Creator gave them to ensure that mankind who practices these rituals may progress in his spiritual journey, ultimately to angelhood. The Pauline art therefore instructs the ways of ascending by small degrees through each world. And as you progress through the information in this book, you will work with each of these worlds under the protection of the archangels. And that's through the high magic. Remember, these are not distinct, discrete worlds, although they are unique, and that the approaches you must use to contact the powers of these worlds may differ. They are, however, interlinked. Meaning with the pentagram ritual, you're working with the microcosm, your terrestrial realm, and then when you move on to the hexagram ritual, you're moving up to the macrocosm, the celestial realm. They do not depend upon each other to function, but any vibration set up in one world will vibrate within the others. As above, so below. As a practitioner of the angelic art, view them as steps in your magical training. Nothing more, nothing less. As indicated, there are 4 traditional elements: fire, earth, water, and air, of which all elemental inferior bodies are compounded. Some traditions include the spirit, which rules over or animates the main 4. But as we are treading the traditional path, ignore this factor for the time being. This is not to say that each elemental spirit is composed of only its particular element, or that its composition has equal parts of all elements. This is not true. For elemental spirits to survive, they use transmutation and union, and when destroyed, is reabsorbed back into their individual elemental realms once again. Some elements are not pure. Consider the element of earth. There may be a small portion of water combined, and elements of earth may be dissolved in water, and may also the element of air. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Much of our information about the actual elements themselves come from the work of Eliphas Levi and his work, The Conjuration of the Four Elements. And it is this work that much of the following has been distilled and combined with existing angelic lore. According to Levi, spirits are like young children. And I can attest for this and the ones that I saw are very small. I want to say about knee high. I did have a bite on my thigh, which was probably about 6 inches above my knee. And I've seen them. I don't know if they were hunched down, but it was running through, and it looked like a big cat almost, but a small child, 2 foot, like a leprechaun size. I've heard them tussle up in my attic. They scratch. They sound like little, you think they're raccoons and stuff, but they're not. They're mischievous, they're malicious. They know that they're taunting you. They would do it after my husband would go to work, and they weren't a big fan of him either. And they really liked me, but they did like me, but they liked to fuck with me too, excuse my language. I always knew they weren't dangerous, and my heart knew they weren't dangerous. They were just mischievous, and they were trying to play. They would get up in my attic and throw a ball. It was like a ball or a marble. We'd toss it. You'd hear the marble roll, and they'd pick it back up and throw it. You'd hear it roll. It sounded like they would be writing with chalk on my floor in cursive, like if somebody was writing on a chalkboard. But and that tussling in my attic was like almost like two-year-olds fighting almost. It was weird. I was like, whoa. And this happened. But the LBRP got rid of him. And I don't know if that was a dead rat or if that was an elemental that died in my wall, but it stunk bad for a week or two. So anyways, according to Levi, spirits are like young children. They can torment those that invoking them too much unless one has control of them by means of superior rationality and the protection of the archangels. And see, I wasn't even doing, all this was before I knew anything about magic. The magic was brought in towards the end of all this, and right after in end of April 2020. And they can torment those that are invoking them too much. I don't invoking them. I wasn't doing any of that. I was doing the wrong things is what I was doing. I was vibrating at the wrong level, so I was attracting bad spirits. But then it was also the home I was in too. The home was the main thing. But God had put me in that home for a reason. He put those elementals in my life for a reason. And, so Levi, they are elementals reporting have occasion to the nightmares of St. Anthony and very probably the visions of Swedenborg. They are simply inquisitive and inoffensive. We can employ or abuse them like animals or children. Therefore, the occultist who employs their help assumes a terrible responsibility, for he should ensure that they are not used by any evil purpose. And you don't. You can use these for evil purpose, but it's going to come back on you. I'm sure you can. I don't see why you couldn't. Look at people that are out there. I don't know. Let me not judge. But for me, I use them for their higher purpose. And my elementals are actually work for my own good, and they don't harm any, for no reason. I mean, I'm saying? They all, they work for my higher good is what they do. I don't have nightmares and stuff like that anymore. I sleep very, very well. But we used to. My husband and I used to have nightmares when we lived over in our old place. And I remember I was banishing, and he would be like, I had a bad dream last night. I was like, oh, shit, I need to banish. And that's what I knew. I wasn't even at the time, again, I was saying I was banishing and not even knowing why I was banishing. And at that time, I didn't know for sure if that's why I was banishing, because I hadn't done that much research into it. But my husband would say, and this is how the spirits work, and my husband would just say randomly, remind me that he had been having little bad dreams or whatever, reminding me to banish. So they are not good or evil. They are just lost entities that are looking to be controlled. They, elementals, are reported to have occasioned the nightmares of St. Anthony and are very probably the visions of Swedenborg. They are simply inquisitive and inoffensive. We can employ or abuse them like animals or children. Therefore, the occultist who employs their help assumes a terrible responsibility, for he should ensure that they are not used for any evil purpose. In fact, under the guidance of the archangels, this would not be allowed, and the practitioner would only be storing up for himself some form of karmic retribution, just like I said. So be warned, only use the spells of the elements to assist and advance your personal development and help your family members. And that's exactly what they do. As I'm doing this work, I don't have to ask them. They just do it, and everything works out for my higher purpose and my children's higher purpose in the long run. Even if I have to cuss my son out, it's for his higher good and for mine. You know, because I have to stop making his lunches because I got to stop being the pushover nice mom. And I'm going to. And that's it. I am. I know he thinks mom's a major bitch right now, but hey, guess what? I am. So Levi also indicated that in order to work with the elements, you must have previously undergone the 4 trials of the ancient initiations. I don't know what that is, but the student will be relieved to know that this is not necessary in today's age. It's good to know. You must place trust in your archangels. And this is the LBRP, my sweet little angels. How you do this work? And there are other ways to do, but how I know to do the work, the LIRP in the morning and the LBRP in the evening to start. And then it goes on from there, you know. Be the student. Oh, yeah. You must place your trust in your archangels and be guided by your own intuition. Just remember, a practitioner who fears water can never rule over undines. Those afraid of fire cannot command salamanders. The elemental spirits will only help those they consider to be superior to them. You are a unique individual. You have chosen to study the sacred Pauline art, the magic of the angels. You can command respect. Every time you think or communicate in some form or another, you are drawing on the spirit of air. So that's what I've been working on. Therefore, our connection with others are formed through air. Air is elusive. It cannot be containable. It is unseen but changeable. When you seek insight, discover a new idea, change your mind, clarify a vision, develop a plan, or concentrate on your breathing, you are becoming air. Air is intellect, truth, and wisdom. If you have difficulty making decisions, taking action, understanding, or being understood, air can help you. You should form close relationships with this element by having some form of representation on your altar. If you have one or integrated within your elemental spells, air is extremely difficult to truly represent, so the practitioner should visualize the air within his temple or workspace as a pale yellow radiating field which surrounds him in his working space to the depth of approximately 5 meters. And so on your air, that's going to be your selves. Selves help you learn. They are teachers and will show you the way to extract and retain information. They rule the mind, spiritual matters, and speech, all governed by the elements of air. And air signs, okay, and they rule over Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And the type is a choleric. And that is easily moved to often unreasonable or excessive anger. So let's go on. Fire is the state of want or desire. This is what I'm going to go on to next, I believe. The spirit of fire is the life principle. It provides heat and light. It is the element of spirit. It possesses the power to transform the state of any substance. If you wish to improve your sense of humor, develop courage, confidence, or motivation, look to fire. Oh no, I didn't. Well, let me do this real quick. Well, you know what? I'm just going to have to save that for the next video. So we're going to, we'll stop. That's what we'll do. Next week, I'll go on to, today we talked about air and fire. Next week, we'll go on to, water and earth. So, but let's talk about, on the fire. So, fire is going to be your salamanders. Spirits of the element of fire can help the practitioner control energy and vitality in order to bring about change into your environment. Fire is a cleansing, purgative element, and spells of fire may be used to rid places of vibrations of evil, contamination, and even insects. And this, I've got to start on this week because, I have a little ant problem going on, and then I've got a little evil problem. No, I'm just kidding. There's nothing evil. It's nothing evil. And I'm just kidding when I say that, because everything is showing me that it's just my angels and my guides and everybody, they don't want me to be taken advantage of and used anymore. And somebody's not treating me all that great, and I'll just be completely honest. It's of course not my husband. He treats me amazing, so don't ever, my husband's perfect. Not perfect, but you know, my oldest son, and I'll just be honest. But that's okay. That's okay. Everything's a test, and the mom's got to stay patient. That's okay, you know, and he'll get his caca together, and I'll stop letting him take advantage of me, because he just doesn't appreciate it, and that's okay. Anyways, yeah, from a human perspective, the element of fire also rules blood, sap, life, and medical surgery. However, the spells of fire are potent. Do not overdo them. Once a month is quite enough. Fire is a dangerous element to stir up. If in doubt, leave the spells of fire alone unless it is one of the elements under the dominion of one of your birth archangels. So, and mine definitely is. So, I'm going to be invoking fire, so I'll maybe I won't do it as much as I invoke air or something, and do not overdo them. So maybe twice a week. Do I fear it? Not at all. Not at all. Because let me tell you, you know what I'm saying? After this morning was just real annoying what happened. And, but again, that pushed me to put my foot down and lock my doors at 8 p.m. and not let anybody in my home in the mornings at 4:30 a.m. to come in and cause havoc. You know what I'm saying? Again, everything happens for a reason. My doors will be locked from now on, and guess what? Then there will be no more little kid drama coming in my home. And I say little kid drama because that's how somebody's acting right now. So, exactly. And I'll say it's way worse. Fire is a dangerous element to stir up. So, you know, and he is a fire sign. He's an Aries, and he's your typical Aries, arrogant Aries. But do I love him any less than my other children? No, not at all. He's my firstborn, my baby, my hardhead, and I don't love him any less. He's beautiful too. And he knows it. He's gotten really handsome, and and he's arrogant. But he'll learn. He's just gonna have to find a woman that'll deal with that. That's what I keep saying. Damn, he'll find the perfect one. Mama just wants some grandbabies eventually. So the elementals, and so we also will talk about more. I'll go back and I'm going to print that other page and read that over next week, but I want to go in and talk about Earth. And I might, I worked on Earth for a month and I didn't really know too much about it, but, it's okay. It's all a learning process. It's not a big deal. But earth spirits will help the practitioner with situations which involve material possessions, wealth, and employment situations. They are teachers in the magical properties of gems and minerals. If you want to clear your garden or place outside your home of bad influences, gain strength or endurance, achieve commitment, wisdom, or patience, all these are governed by the earth spirits. They are teachers in the magical properties of gems and minerals. if you want to clear your garden or outside or place outside your home, okay, of bad influences, gain strength of endurance, commitment, wisdom, or patience. All these are governed by the earth spirits, okay? And then water, that is your undines. And the earth is gnomes. The air is your sylphs. The fire is salamanders. And they say you'll see them and sparks in the air. The salamanders, the sylphs. I see them in the behind the clouds. Lots of other things, but and you can Google all this. Relationships are under the rulership of undines. This is water. Practitioners should petition the element of water to help resolve personal discord with loved ones. Undines may be requested to calm situations in the home, but they also have rulership over the human traits of compassion, tenderness, forgiveness, modesty, and creativity. Maybe I'll work on water next. And that's another thing. You can't, like I've said in my previous videos, when you're doing this work, you got to do this work for your, this is all, you can't, if a book tells you to do it a certain way, I don't believe that you have to do it that certain way. I believe that you have to do it how your heart tells you to do it, because there's no right or wrong way. I honestly believe that in my heart, that there's no right or wrong way. As long as you're doing it for the purpose of purpose of the good, then there's nothing wrong. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to turn this other light on. The girls are still on the porch. Yeah, I'm going to go swimming with them here in a little bit after I get done working. Okay, many of the elemental spirits require the making of images, traditionally called sympathetic magic, and this is achieved by making images or diagrams of what you want. We're not going to go into any of that. Excuse me. Okay, we read all that. Okay, there are many paths to the divine. Some paths suit some students and some do not. This is not because you have an advantage or a reason for failing. All it means is that you do not have at that time the vibratory link in your psychic well-being. It does not mean that you are inferior or need to learn more. It means that the regular practice or ritual is not for you. Some practitioners have great success directly with the archangels and are happy to only use these rituals to communicate with their birth angels. Others are keen to practice all the different rituals in the Pauline art. And I don't know Pauline art. I'm assuming high magic. Let me replace that rituals in high magic. So for the practice of elemental magic, to me, I just call it, I guess, elemental magic because I'm working on the 4 elements. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't go by what a lot of these books tell me. I use what my brain tells me to use, my soul, so sometimes I always keep this in mind. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Because nowadays, you look back and all these elaborate, and hey, nothing against them, and I'm sure I'll do some of them, but a lot of these elaborate long rituals and stuff like that. But right now in this world, we ain't got the time for that, baby. We ain't got the time for all these elaborate long rituals that when the spirit and elements already know what we're doing. They already know what we're doing, okay? I promise you. So they don't need you. We don't need all these long, elaborate rituals, and this is my opinion. You do the ritual that's needed to be done, that's going to do what's going to do the work. Say what you need to be said. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we're in a time in the world where work needs to get done, and keep it simple, stupid. And as long as you're doing the work and the basic work that needs to be done, instead of going out here and then let me pick and grab this and let me do this and, because I want to look cool and I want to put on a show or whatever. But for me, this is not because, and that's just me. For me, this is not, this is my job. And this is something that I want to learn, need to learn for the future, because I don't know what's going to happen, but I know something's going to happen in the future, and high magic is going to be needed, and high magic is going to be something that's going to come to the limelight. It's Jesus, dude. It's Jesus. So Jesus is coming back. That's all I got to say. Jesus is coming back. Jesus is resurrecting. Jesus is high magic. Hi, I'm Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So he's coming back, and we're going to need high magic because, you know, I don't know what God's doing, but we see already just from 2020 what he's starting to do. So, you know, and it will get better. I've said that, but I feel like, you know, I don't really know what's going to happen. I can't predict. I just feel like something's going to happen. But you must discover your path, and your birth archangels will guide you. You know, and that's important to get in contact with your guides daily in the morning. Acknowledge them. They're here with me now, and they'll use you with numbers. You know, if you're waking up on 333, or, you know, they're like, hello, we're here with you. You know, we want you to look into why you're really here, you know. And God is wakening people up on a daily. So previously it was stated that these ancients believed that there were 3 worlds: elemental, celestial, and intellectual. In fact, there are 4. And as you study high magic, the magic of the angels of men, you will be introduced to the 4 worlds. As you study the Pauline art, the magic of the angels of men, you'll be introduced to the 4 worlds. 1, the natural world, the elements: earth, air, fire, water. I gotta wrap this up because my dog's going crazy on the porch with the kids, and I'm ready to go get in the pool. I need it, y'all. My soul needs it. I tried to go to the beach yesterday and it rained a little bit on me, but I needed that too. I needed to get out of the house. Okay. Number 2, the celestial world, the planet, their powers, and the ruling angels. Number 3, the fixed stars, the stars that work through the zodiacal belt. And number 4, the divine, the spheres of the angelic hierarchies. And right now I'm in the celestial world. I'll be going on to the fixed stars soon. Or am I in the fixed stars? I don't know, y'all. It doesn't matter because I'm right where I need to be. And number 4, the divine, the spheres of the angelic hierarchies. Consider these to be like the skins of an onion radiating out from the element of earth. The natural world to the divine, and from the divine down to the element of earth. This is the path of enlightenment that each student must follow. The skins represent the levels of transmutation through the angel of transformation, the archangel Raphael of your consciousness to final integration with the divine. No one is more powerful than the other. They all vibrate the divine web which links all mundane and living things. The only difference is the speed of result. Now, and I will say from experience, so when I first started this and I was vanishing or invoking one day, something stole my moonstone out of my ring, and I thought that was one of the archangels, but it wasn't. It was a elemental, was a spirit messing with me, and it's weird, you know. I've been doing this 2.5 years, and I just figured that out a few days ago. But as far as the angels go, I really feel like there are strings of energy that we call on within ourselves. And there too, but it's a signal that we're reaching out to. And so, and it's all programming. It's all programming. How does a computer get programmed? With numbers, symbols, letters. Well, guess what? How do we get programmed? Reprogrammed, I should say. Through high magic. Numbers, Hebrew letters, symbols. It's all programming, y'all. I've said that before. Here it is. So by studying elemental magic, you are on the first ring of the divine plan as a student of this angelic art, and you will progress through earthly materialism to become free from the outside domination of time, situation, and karma. And those are facts. Those are facts, y'all. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have on elementals. Again, they can be mischievous. If you are having issues to where you think you have a problem with one, LBRP, LBRP, LBRP. It's gonna cleanse. It's gonna cleanse your home. You're also working on your psyche at the same time, so it's like a win-win situation. So that's what you do, y'all. If you're having issues like this, again, and I have friends that are having bad dreams of losing their teeth and their dogs getting eaten by wolves. And again, they fight, they go off, they work against our fears. So they're, like I said, they're mischievous. They really are. Most are harmless for the most part, but they can be. For some of us, especially us sensitives, us empaths, we are especially drawn to these. That's why we suffer from alcoholism and drug addiction and stuff like that. And let me tell you, alcohol does bring the bad elementals, or the yucky elementals around. And I'm just being completely honest. That's why you see a lot of arguments and fights, because they get on in there and they stir up trouble, and it's just the truth, and and again, it's all God, you know what I'm saying? So you can't judge them. They have a job to do. All right, they have a job to do. All right, my angels, I will be back next week, and we'll read up some more. I have some other things that I want to read about elementals, because I find them very, very fascinating. They're really what run our world. So besides God, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. All right, my sweet little angels. I love y'all. Mama loves you. I hope y'all have a blessed day. I'll be back next week. Until then, let's stay positive. Burn some pink candles for love in our home. Banish, light some Palo Santo, and just radiate compassion and love, as that's what we're going to do this week, y'all. Okay? I love you. And y'all have a very blessed day. Have a beautiful rest of your Tuesday, angels. All right? Hey, use that Mars energy to your advantage, all right? I know I am. I'm going to do a little working out and stuff today, and go swimming and play with my girls for a little bit. My daughter comes home in the morning, and we get to surprise her because she doesn't know one of her friends is here. So I love y'all again so much, so much. And we're going to get through this together, and the world's going to be better in the end, all right? But you have me until then, and I'll just keep coming back, all right? And we'll keep talking, and I'll keep feeding y'all information. All right, bye. Have a blessed day.